Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today we are going to talk about the new version of the suggestion spell, the 2024 version. We are going to compare and contrast it to the legacy version. There are a couple of major changes in suggestion that I'm going to highlight. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, here is the legacy version, which we have gone over this before. I'm not really going to go into like all the different ways that you can use suggestion. I kind of want to concentrate more on the differences between these two spells. So it's still a second level spell, first action, one action, 30-foot range. It was an 8-hour spell with concentration. It had a wisdom saving throw, and we like wisdom saving throws. You suggest a course of action limited to a sentence or two. So there is a change there. Once we get to the 2024 version, we'll go over that. You magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear you. Creatures that cannot be charmed are immune to this effect. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable, asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, immolate itself, or do something obviously harmful, ends the spell. So that it has to be reasonable to that creature. It makes a wisdom save. If it fails it, it does the thing you told it to do in a sentence or two, to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration, but you have to concentrate on this for the entire duration. If the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when it finishes what it was asked to do. You can also specify conditions that will trigger a special activity during the duration. For example, you might suggest that a knight give her war horse to the first beggar that she meets. If the condition isn't met before the spell expires, the activity isn't performed. So, if you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends. Okay, so a lot to unpack there. But it's basically you cast a spell on a creature, save, it fails, it does a thing that is not harmful to itself. Here is the 2024 version of the spell. It's still a second level. Oh, and before we get to that, it is usable by bards, sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, and knowledge domain clerics. Okay. Suggestion, second level, still. One action, still. 30 feet, still. 8-hour duration, still with concentration, yes. Still a wisdom saving throw. Still usable by bards, sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, and knowledge domain clerics. We're going to kind of talk about the new classes as well. So you suggest a course of activity described in no more than 25 words to one creature that you can see within range that can hear and understand you. So hear and understand is still in here. But this says limited to a sentence or two. And boy, I had some players that could write really long, non-run-off sentences. So kind of my thing was it couldn't be a run-on sentence, but they could write really long sentences. Especially you have like English majors that are at the table. Now it's 25 words, so it can be 5 sentences if you can get 25 words out of 5 sentences. So there's no sentence in here anymore. It just says described in no more than 25 words. So we don't get any more of this. I'm going to ChatGPT, and I'm going to have ChatGPT give me 2 sentences for this activity. Now it's ChatGPT, give me 25 words. Okay. The suggestion must sound achievable and not involve anything that would obviously deal damage to the target or its allies. So, the suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make a course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself, or do some other harmful act ends the spell. So that's another difference there. Target, damage its target or its allies. So you can't have it fight its allies or punch itself or leap into a river of lava or whatever. That will end it. But, for example, you could say, fetch the key to the cult's treasure vault and give the key to me. Now, that seems kind of quick. If the key is right there on the desk and they grab it and they hand it to you, the spell ends. Or you could say, stop fighting, leave this library peacefully, and do not return. I would say never return. That one will last for a long time. So the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or have the charmed condition for the duration or until you or your allies deal damage to the target. The charmed target pursues the suggestion to the best of its ability. Now, this sentence is in here, and this sentence is not in here. And so this is up to some interpretation. This one says creatures that cannot be charmed are immune to this effect, which is the influence. This one says the charmed target pursues the suggestion to the best of its ability. But if it's immune to being charmed, it's not a charmed target. So I think they could have wrote this a little bit better. There seems to be some room for interpretation. I think they meant for this sentence to be carried over, but they didn't exactly write it perfectly in here. The suggested activity can continue for the entire duration, but if the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends for the target upon completing it. Like up here, if the key is on the desk that's 5 feet away, then they grab it, they hand it to you. It ends, it completes the activity, and it ends the spell. So you don't want to, you want this spell to last for as long as you can get it to possibly last. So some significant changes to this. The 25 words is a big one. That's a big change. It's still any creature they have to hear and understand you. So if you're speaking common and they're speaking draconic, then it's not going to work. And if they don't speak common. And it has to be achievable and not involve anything that would obviously deal damage to itself or its allies. So you can't make it fight its allies. You can't make it defend you. I would say that if you say it's going to defend me for the next 8 hours, then if its allies decide to attack you, and that might trigger the end of the spell. That's up to your DM, for an interpretation of that. And then there is this part here, which is not the same as this. Creatures that cannot be charmed are immune to this effect. It's very different. That is a different thing. Okay, so let's talk about some classes first and how 2024 classes work with this. Obviously, I like the Sorcerer very much. It's now my new favorite 2024 class. So we're going to make a Wisdom saving throw, and guess what? We've got innate sorcery, which means that those saves are now increased by a 1 to the DC. Okay, so now it just got a little bit harder, and a Wisdom saving throw is not easy for most creatures to make. In addition, you get meta magic options, and you've got heightened spell when you cast a spell that forces a creature to make a saving throw, Wisdom saving throw. You can spend 2 points to give one target of the spell disadvantage on saves against it. You only get 1 save for this, though, too. So this is, it's good for that initial saving throw, but there's no other saving throws after that. Whereas there are some other spells that they cause, like Whole Person, they cause a save every round. And that is also a good use of this. So again, the Sorcerer is great. We've got Wild Sorcerer, who also gets the Bend Luck at 6th level, and you can give a D4 penalty to that saving throw, which is awesome. There are some other, because Aberrant Sorcery is in here. I don't understand. This is Psionic Spells, and Suggestion is not in here. I don't get that. So I guess it's more Aberrant than anything else. They get Dissonant Whispers, Sending, but no Suggestion. So there is that. So, that would go well. I like the Wild Magic Sorcery better. The Bard, and that I nothing in the Bard itself goes with this spell from the base Bard, but the Bard of Eloquence can do Unsettling Words and give a penalty to the saving throw, so that's always good. Wizard, and of course, I like the Diviner Wizard, who has the Portent, so I can give you a low roll on a D20. You fail that save. There's only 1 save, so you just need to get them to fail that initial save. The Knowledge Domain Cleric, and I don't know why they're saying this is Legacy, because it's not listed under the 2024 rules. It's listed here. They get it as a spell, but that's basically it. They don't really get anything that helps it out. But if you could think of any other cool tricks or hacks for this, leave them in the comments below. But that is what I have for Suggestion and the review of Suggestion. Oh, and just before I forget, back in the day, we gave this spell an A. I'm still giving it an A, but for the purposes of certain classes like the sorcerer, it could go as high as an A plus because you can make things fail that initial saving throw. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody.